Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and how do we not start this show off with this? I woke up this morning and my wife told me that there was some controversy from, I don't watch any of these award shows, but I don't even know which one it was, Oscars, Grammys, whatever. But apparently Will Smith slapped Chris Rock across the face for insulting his wife or something. But so I saw this from DJ Peter Voss, SEC versus Ripple. Thought that was funny. Then I thought this was funny too. This is a great way to start off our Monday. Here's the official cool. He is the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel. Listen to what he says.
Warren, are you there? Warren, don't hide behind Gary, because we got him covered too. Gary, Warren, where are you guys?
And of course, now listen, I'm not going to spend the week picking on Warren Davidson. I'm gonna give you my final thought on that, and then it's on Warren to pretty much show us where he's coming from. And this is the point I'll make. And I said, this is where I'm coming from. Let's pretend that the fake Ripple article was real. Warren Davidson jumped right on it. He was quick to play gotcha and call Ripple a central authority. And so he made it very obvious that he has an issue that he has not shown until now. He's got an issue with Ripple being a central authority. That's what came out of this for me. But then we've got this Ethereum disguised whales video that's 100% real. It's Joseph Lubin, one of the founders, saying that he's helping disguise the whales. And there's never been an audit of that ICO. And to this day, their whole flag that they fly is that it's decentralized. But they won't show you and refuse to show you who the whales they were disguising was. So how can you carry a flag of Ethereum somehow being decentralized where all other crypto is not, except for Bitcoin? How can you carry that flag when the dirty little secret here, folks, is that flag's a lie? And it's a big fat lie right in the middle of the room. And Warren Davidson won't even say anything about it when he's happy to say Ripple, who's been transparent about what they have and all that. Ethereum hasn't been transparent at all. So Warren Davidson isn't saying a word about Ethereum, but he's quick to point at Ripple. Same thing that all these other people have done for all these years. And so sorry, Warren, you'll have to forgive us if we're a little bit irritated with the fact that, wait a minute, Ripple's been completely transparent over here. Joseph Lubin and the guys at Ethereum have hidden the disguised whales for all these years, never had an audit, never been transparent, and you're just going to go on the assumption that Ethereum is somehow decentralized when you know that whales were disguised? That's just dishonest, Warren. And you need to, and how you proceed from here is going to tell everybody the whole story, because that's just not the truth. And so moving along, I want to show you something. A lot of people don't know this. I thought everybody did know, but they don't. I want to show you something. Everybody remember Mr. B, XRP? He's been a pretty big part of the whole XRP, whatever you call them, XRP Community Army over the last few years. A lot of people don't realize the same guy is Nick Burafado, who's now one of the guys that works at Link2. Now, Nick Burafado, so when you're talking to Nick Burafado at Link2 because you're interested in buying Ripple equity, you're talking to Mr. B. It's kind of cool. But anyway, he had tweeted earlier this weekend that they had sold out of Ripple, but then he tweeted this morning. I don't even know what the date is. Are we on the 28th? So he tweeted this today. Link2 members using Uphold wallets. You can only fund your Uphold wallet with $2,500 daily using ACH, which can take 5 days because all orders are slightly over 10K. because we don't sell partial shares. If you bank wire to Uphold, there's no limit. And Link2 had tweeted this out. We are restocking our Link2 platform with more Ripple private equity tomorrow being today. We will be running promos for the pre-IPO unicorn all week long. So make your Uphold Inc. wallets are funded and make sure they're funded and ready to go. So folks, this right here, just remember two things is what is the thing to remember. One, Ripple was valued at $15 billion. Remember when they bought those, was it Tetragon? They bought the shares back, and it established the value of Ripple equity at $15 billion. Last time I checked, I don't know what it is now, but Link2 was selling that same equity at somewhere in the $7 or $8 billion valuation. So it's like you're buying it, and it's half the value of it when you buy it, which is pretty amazing. The second thing to remember is at some point, folks, it's going to be the last time that they're able to put this on. I mean, the second you have any kind of settlement on this lawsuit, it's game over. You won't be getting Ripple equity until they go public, and then it'll be too freaking late. So you might want to give Mr. B/Nick Burafado a call, or you can drop him a line on Twitter, I guess. Now, check it out. Look what happened. The market is at 2.145 trillion, and look what happened with XRP. It went over 90 cents this morning. That's big. So XRP and a lot of these things are on the move. I'm not sure exactly why yet. Now, I wanted to make another point about the Ethereum thing. I highly recommend you all go and watch this. The docudrama on Theranos, and it's the pharmaceutical company. They supposedly created these blood testing machines where it would only take one drop of your blood, and they had put all these things in Walgreens and all, and it was like one drop of blood, and you were going to be able to get all these tests. Turns out the machines didn't work. It was all fake. They were using, I think they were using Siemens machines instead. But anyway, the bottom line is that this docudrama is awesome. And at the end of this, they found out that it was all fake. Now, what does this have to do with anything we talk about? And I did this little write-up. It's 1,000% trusted. I've been watching The Dropout on Hulu. And there are some interesting parallels with ETHgate. The investors and members of the Theranos board of directors were in denial even when presented with evidence. They faced a very embarrassing situation if the company was exposed. They faced billions in losses. Some faced prison time. The Theranos blood testing machines didn't work, and they tried to cover it up. It didn't end well because lies just don't stand the test of time. There were a few whistleblowers who did the right thing. Ethereum decentralization is a myth. There were disguised whales in the ICO that are hidden to this day. There has never been an audit. ETHgate is real. It's bigger than Enron, bigger than Madoff, much bigger. They all know it. And I said, where are the whistleblowers? And I'm asking Warren Davidson and some of his congresspeople, where are not just the whistleblowers, but where are the congresspeople asking questions? Where are the good people at the SEC? Hester Pierce, where is she asking questions about this? Where are they? Where are the whistleblowers within the SEC? Are there any good guys there? Where are the people asking questions about this? Now, Jeremy Hogan has got a smoking gun video that he has put up. I want to play part of it from this section right here. This is his channel, Legal Briefs. Go give him a subscribe, okay? This video is worth watching.
And can't be raised at this time. Which brings us to the smoking gun in the individual defendant's response brief. And it's on page 3 at the bottom. And here is what you've been waiting for. Quote, the SEC should not be permitted to argue to the fact finder that Mr. Garlinghouse and Mr. Larson were reckless, not to recognize that XRP purchasers saw XRP as an investment in a common enterprise while concealing, potentially, that the SEC's own director of Division of Corporation Finance had analyzed a substantially similar digital asset and maybe even XRP itself and concluded that it was not. You know, in the practice of law, there are not many Perry Mason moments, if you remember the TV show. Usually cases are won or lost by meticulous and somewhat boring extraction of testimony from somewhat boring witnesses. This is not the usual. Look at what Attorney Solomon is suggesting in those emails. The SEC is so desperately trying not to give Ripple. Now, first, he states that potentially the SEC Division of Corporate Finance had analyzed a very similar digital asset and concluded that it was not a security. Now, the first asset that came to my mind was XLM, and if that analysis is in these documents, that is, of course, very helpful. But then Solomon goes on and says, in kind of a throwaway parentheses type thing, and maybe even XRP itself, by which he is suggesting, of course, that in those documents is something analyzing XRP and concluding that XRP is not a security. And this document was created over 2 years before the lawsuit was filed by the SEC, alleging that XRP is a security. Yes, that would be very, very bad for the SEC. It's a little more than a smoking gun. It's more like this.
Okay, so that is an interesting little clip there. Now, speaking of interesting clips, do you remember when Jay Clayton was on CNBC and Becky Quick from CNBC actually asked him a question about ETHgate? Remember when he was on there and she said she had been looking into this? Well, I'm wondering if she said she had people under her thread or something like that. Now we've got this Zero Hedge article where One River says where he is. It's increasingly clear that the future of finance runs on Ethereum. And Becky Quick, all she can do is ask him this.
Jay, let me ask you about something that it winds up in my Twitter feed constantly. I've tried to look into it and done a little research on it. There's this argument about an action that the SEC brought on your last day as the chair of the SEC. This was the one to go after Ripple Labs executives, the CEO, the general counsel, and others, and kind of come after them for some sales that they had planned and whether they were upfront. There has been all kinds of speculation because Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, the general counsel, have been very public in their pushing back and fighting the SEC on this. And they've done some mudslinging and said that you and others at the SEC were compromised in this decision, that you had input that was coming in from people who are maybe Ethereum fans or others along the way. I get this question constantly. I just want to put it to you.
You get it constantly because it's true, Becky.
You say to those accusations?
Well, Becky, I'm not going to comment on any pending investigation or action in front of the SEC. I think you know that. We've discussed that in the past. And look, it's America. People have the right to defend themselves. They have the right to their opinion. And I'm not going to engage in that either. I think as government officials, you do the best you can. You let the facts stand where they are. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Can we talk more broadly just about crypto? Because Gary...
Oh my gosh, this guy, man. Woo, that stinks. Okay. Wrath of Kahneman sent this out. This November 21 report by Goldman Sachs Investment Banking Division. Overview of digital assets and blockchain identifies Ripple as an opportunity in payments along with Circle and Coinbase. The graphic keys on RippleNet, not ODLXRP. It's important perspective as for source. Okay. Then there's this. Now, folks, if you're not paying attention to this, you just aren't paying attention, because we have a government here in the United States that is now, and don't you dare listen to, well, this is just a tax on the rich. Don't you dare believe all that. When these guys start talking about something as an entry, a way in the door about taxing the rich, that is all they're doing is opening the door. All that means is in the future, all of us are going to get the same treatment. So don't believe that bull for a minute. But what they're talking about doing here is taxing unrealized gains, and it is a freaking disaster in the makings. It's not just a disaster. This is the end of the United States as we know it. This is, let's just go ahead and jump on, do a warp speed to communism is what this is. It is sick. And I want you to just listen to what he's saying.
And they're trying to raise revenue at a time when they're going to have to step up and try to protect the most vulnerable segments of the population. So it's very difficult to solve all this with a single instrument. And that's why you get all these unintended implications. So we all go back to what we really need is fundamental tax reform. We've tried it over and over again. There simply isn't the political will to get it done.
Great. If you started with something that maybe was less contentious, I mean, I just think the idea of getting at unrealized gains is almost a non-starter. I don't know how you do that. It seems like it's a little crazy. If you wanted to do something like tax a minimum of 20% on all realized gains, you know, that's a different story. But once you start getting at the idea of unrealized gains, that is a mess.
No, any of you congressmen out there that want to keep your job that are listening to me, write it down, folks. If you are anywhere near this unrealized gains thing, joke, well, it's not even a joke because there's nothing funny about it. If you are a politician and you are going to be anywhere near this bomb going off, you better don't run away from this right here, because whoever's affiliated with this is going to get their butts booted so fast out of Congress, you won't even know what hit you. Those people don't just need to be voted out; they need to be sent out of this country, because this is the path to communism, and this is evil right here. Taxing, and now don't take my word for it. I'm going to show you something. Well, this is. Kevin O'Leary, of course, said that it's anti-American or un-American. Look at Patrick Riley's thread here so that you can really grasp this. He says, unrealized capital gains would include an increase of value in stocks or shares of a company. If a company were worth $100 million and that value doubled in a year to $200 billion, there's a $100 million capital gain that is unrealized until it is sold. In my case, the Reaper Financial, I own 70% of the company, so I would be obligated to pay 20% tax on $70 million, amounting to $14 million. Although this is now what my shares are worth, I did not make this much money. In order to pay my tax bill for having grown my company, I must sell 7% of my company. Now I would only own 63%, but it gets worse. I sold that against the shareholders in my company, so now I have suppressed the price. Those who knew the sale was coming would also sell. But wait, it's worse. Not only does this force companies to sell into their own stock and incentivizes market sell-offs, but it incentivizes owners to not grow their company or they will be punished for it. Now, I'm not going to go any further into it. That in itself is enough. Imagine that XRP out there that you hold. Imagine that XRP you've been holding for 4 years. Imagine along comes some, and they'll reply to this, oh, we're just talking about people worth $100 million. No, that's how these sick people get through the door, folks. And then they drip, 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 and before you know it, they're hitting everyone with the same thing. All they're doing is setting a precedent. If they can do it to somebody worth $100 million, they'll do it to all of us. And that is the fact, Jack. Politicians, again, if you're listening to me, run as fast as you can away from this asinine idea. These are anybody who would even propose an idea like this has been in politics and government for too long and doesn't understand anything about capitalism or trying to raise a family out here in the private sector. These are some sick people right here. This is a sicko idea. This makes me furious because this is an indicator that we literally have people in this country that are running this country that want to take us down this evil road towards communism. That's what it tells me, because I've never accused these people of being dumb. It's not that they're dumb. This is calculated, and it's evil, and it's sick. This is sick stuff right here. Now, don't underestimate what I'm saying, because I am over the target on this one. This is bad, 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 bad. Really bad. Now, I'll tell you something that's good. Kava Network, remember multi-chain? This is the same thing that David Schwartz was tweeting about XRP and the interoperability. Well, Kava Network, who's one of my sponsors, and what you need to do, I'm going to put the link to this in the top of the description of this video, at Kava_platform. Give them a follow, because they're moving and shaking is what they're doing. Multi-Chain Org was one of the first projects to join the Kava Pioneer program. Check out their Pioneer Spotlight article to learn more about the value they bring to the Kava Network. Formerly known as AnySwap, Multi-Chain's chain org is now known for their blockchain bridges, modular protocols, cross-chain compatibility. Multi-chain currently supports 39 chains and 1,687 projects. They boast a daily volume of $100 million and have TVL over $6 billion. Be ready for their deployment onto the Kava Network. Ethereum co-chain coming soon. Curious about some of the other Kava pioneers? Read more about them here. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family to go follow Kava. They've been moving and shaking in DeFi for a while.